we could see 500 million ounce of silver deficit each year. That would be enormous. So that's why everybody and people in China are buying silver right now as we are speaking.
Hello and welcome back to Soar Financially, where we discuss the macro to understand the micro. My name is Kai Hoffman. I'm the JR Mining guy on Twitter and the CEO of the Soar Financially Group, and tremendously appreciate you joining us here for this exciting conversation. And our guest today is Chen Lin of ChenPicks.com. We've had Chen on a few times, but it's been almost 11 months since I last spoke to him. We met up in the Yukon on a site visit tour, and we haven't really chatted, at least on camera, for a while. So it's time to catch up, especially with the massive moves in the commodity prices. Silver is rallying, copper is rallying, and of course, we all know about gold touching on new all-time highs. But today we'll focus on copper and silver, and I'm really looking forward to discussing that with Chen. Before I switch over, quick reminder, hit that like and subscribe button. We tremendously appreciate it. We really appreciate the support. And now, without much further ado, Chen, it is great to see you again. Thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
Great, Kai. Nice to see you since we actually met last week, but we met before. That was a Yukon trip, as you said. That's great. I mean, great channel. You should click on the like button.
I appreciate it, Chen. No, it's like you surprised me with your visit at the SME conference. Otherwise, we would have organized something there in New York. But let's do it virtually now. I'm way much better prepared now for you as well, so we can have a proper discussion. And Chen, I warned you. First question I need to ask you, because we always talk about it. How is the Chinese economy doing? You're an insider. You have a lot of contacts in China, and we don't talk about it enough here on the channel. So I'm curious, how is the Chinese economy doing, Chen?
Economy is doing okay. Okay, it has been very bad. A couple of months ago, China started the Cash for Clunker program, and then China started QE. Okay, that's almost like what we did in 2009. So it seems recently news seem to stabilize a little bit. So I can share with you what I seen in China. So one of the news. Let me see if I can move this. Okay, hold on. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can share. So this is a picture I seen. I went to China in January. Okay, I have I have a hotel by the ocean. I really love it. But unfortunately, there's this giant building in front of us block my ocean view. And there's no lights come on during the night. So I went to the ocean side and I took a look. Oh boy, this is an empty apartment building. It's just right in front of me. Okay, that was, and then it's not really suburb. It's in Shenzhen, one of the largest city in China. So you can see the Chinese housing market is really, really bad. And I've been talking to the local people. Some people expect another 50% drop. Some say 30, but people are very hesitating, very, very hesitating. But Chinese government trying to pop up the market. They are buying market. Chinese government start buying a week ago. From the open market, they buy at 30%. I mean, 30% discount. 70% of the asking price. Almost they want to buy as much as they can to make it a rental or low income housing, whatever they want to do. But so basically, you can see it's very bad shape. So that's lead to my next. So you want to talk about copper?
We can talk about copper, because I mentioned to you before hitting the record button. I was curious, like, why is the copper price rallying? And it seems to be that the global economy seems to be dodging the bigger recession that everybody's forecasted. And looking at Dr. Copper, which is a big economic indicator, I was curious if that theory is holding true, and whether copper is that indicator that we all look for.
Yeah, that's a great question. So this is what I wore. I can tell you. This is a weekly chart, okay, 52-week. So at beginning of the year, when I was in China, Chinese suddenly started to build up the copper inventory. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So suddenly started to build up. I was in shock. You go there, you see the empty apartment. That's where I was, okay, around here. And then you come back to the US, and suddenly a month later, I heard China is buying an almost unlimited copper. So why is that? Why is that? So I did a lot of soul searching. So back in March after PDAC, I changed my stand. I said, buy copper. Why is that? The reason I got from my contact in China is the demand for especially for the transformer using AI. The AI you need, if you go to Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg's talks, so it's a crucial part for AI is transform the power from a regular 110 volt to whatever use in the AI chip, maybe 1.7, 1.6, whatever specification has to point something, has to be very accurate. So those transformers really is about a copper wire plus a magnet, some controller, you know what I mean. So the order, that's what I learned, why the Chinese will buy copper, because they learned the order of the transformer go up a few thousand% from the United States, a few thousand%, because those transformers are made in China. So those Chinese people, those Chinese traders, they're not stupid. That's like you and me. They want to make money. So when they see that, they see, wow, this demand will overcome the lack of the copper demand in China due to the housing slump. So that's why it led me to change my point of view of copper. So I show you, I recommend the copper on March 18th. Okay, and then you can see what happened to copper. I was very lucky. So March 18th is just around here. So just about copper to take off. So and then copper have exploded, as we know, have a short squeeze in 2 weeks ago. Okay, just about 2 weeks ago, you see the short squeeze. And then you can see the short position actually hasn't quit yet. So there could be another short squeeze coming. That's why I told you I was very excited. I was buying just copper just before I come on the show. I was buying copper. I was adding to my position because you can see this is the CFTC data. I don't know if you know how to read those data. Okay, this is it's a non-commercial. Okay, this is non-commercial means the hedge fund, the big investor, right? And now also Chinese buyer. They are buying copper while commercial are shorting, right? It's a short squeeze, supposed to squeeze their short position, but short hasn't quit yet. You can see that the short position, this is a different call data, okay? You can go to CFTC website to understand what the call data means, but but it's okay. It's very easy to understand. So basically this, you can just tell you the investor are longing the commercial, which is a Trafigura this time, and then also another Chinese firm also involved. They're both shorting copper. They haven't quit yet. So, but anyway, I'm just telling you, this is what happened to a short squeeze to copper.
No, fantastic. Chen, like you mentioned, you bought copper before coming on this program, and the follow-up question to that is, of course, I don't want to know the amount of copper you bought, but I'm curious, how are you playing it, and what tool are you using to buy copper? Like, what instrument?
Yeah. As I said in my newsletter, it was very hard to read. I'm buying copper future, and there's not much ETF, so I bought a copper producer. I bought a hot bay, which is I kind of regret now. I said in my newsletter, I bought more, but I only bought hot bay and also bought some hot copper juniors. So I spread around, but right now there's still opportunity in copper juniors, by the way. But the copper producer hot bay, they just raised money, right? Actually, I sold hot bay over $10. Now they raised money in $9.5, and happily I have been buying back as they're raising money, because $10, if you look at hot bay, it's historical high. So why don't you take money, profit, out of the table? So I did. So now I'm buying back. So, but it's kind of late, a little bit late, but I think there's still opportunities, because BHP is buying Anglo America, and so there are opportunities in the copper space, but you have to be very selective.
No, fantastic. I was just looking up. I think one of my sources tells me that the Hut Bay financing, the $300 million bought deal, was actually oversubscribed by $100 million.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interest in that space.
Absolutely. So I pick because I only bought Hut Bay because Hut Bay has a lot of gold. I'm also a gold bug. I feel like with the gold hedge, Hut Bay should do well. So I don't have the Hut Bay chart, but I bought it much lower when copper was around here. Just on the March 18th, I recommended copper. You see the copper was right here. So it was a fantastic trade, and we made a lot of money on that. I think Hut Bay could go higher from here. because they build a new mine. In the downtime, you want to be buying producer that in the downturn they didn't cry, they didn't wave their white flag. They copy built a new mine and then they bought another mine, right? Copper Mountain in BC. So they bought asset. You want to invest those companies who bought asset and then who build a new mine. And so I think they will benefit. They probably blow through $10 again as the next round of copper squeeze coming. But I'm more excited about silver, as you say, so I can talk about silver.
We'll get to silver in a second, Chen. Contain your excitement for a second, because I need you to get your crystal ball out on the copper price. Like if you had to make a prediction, where do you think things will go? Because we're already trading, or we already reached all-time highs in the copper price. Like what is realistic? Like where can the copper price go?
Oh, I think easily to 6 or 7. As I said to my subscribers, $6, I will start taking a lot of profit in my copper future. 7, I will start selling my more about my copper holding, copper producers. I think eventually could go higher. Let me show you one chart because all these are buying by AI. Okay, well, I hope I got that. No, I don't have that slide. Sorry. But I just it's from my. But I talk about the last MIF presentation. So there is right now, if you just Google Texas power shortage. Google that. So Texas in the past few weeks already have a 2 or 3 power shortage. Each time the power price went up 100-fold. Seriously, not 100%, 100-fold. Okay, so it's not even summer yet. So United States are facing seriously power shortage. Seriously, facing very serious. So and now it's an election year. Okay, so there's not many solutions. We need build a lot of power plant. And that's why I'm very excited about silver and solar panel. And then we need to have an upgrade our grid. So there's no other way except copper. And so it's the squeeze, I think, will go on. You cannot predict the top of the market. Nobody could. Okay, only genius. I'm not genius, but I can see the time frame is probably next 6 to 12 months. Copper probably will hit a very high number. Okay, when people see the whole picture.
I think I read an article this morning, actually, that Texas already hit its all-time high power consumption just this week because people were using their ACs because of a heat wave in Texas.
Right. Can you imagine in the summer, they have a rolling blackout? And then it's an election year. So I have actually, I think, I don't know if I have that page or not. Let me see if I still have that page. I removed it. Oh, hold on. So basically, unfortunately, I think I did remove that. So, oh yeah, hold on. So, yeah, I removed that. So basically, there's a few remedies for that. Okay, the number one remedy for the power shortage in the United States is to ban Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining is about 3% of the power. So I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's more like a Main Street versus Wall Street because most people own Bitcoin on Wall Street, and Main Street people are running out of power. Seriously running out of power, rolling blackout in the middle of the summer. So they could happen, election year could happen. I don't know if it will, but it may. Okay, China already banned Bitcoin mining, right? Banned Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining for a reason, because they use too much power. China don't have enough power to mine the Bitcoin. Okay, so that could happen. So actually, so that's why I'm very excited about silver. Just think about the smart trader from Bitcoin. They may think about, maybe if there's a possibility, if they pile the money into silver or gold, we'll have an unbelievable bull market. It will be bull market of our lifetime.
Now let's talk about those drivers of the silver price here, and let's work out the granular details, because AI is a big driver, as you mentioned. Silver consumption, copper consumption, power consumption itself. I think I've seen a graphic on X the other day where it compares a Google search versus an AI search, like the difference in power consumption for both, which is, I think AI search is like needs 10 times as much power as a regular Google search. So just putting that into context. But Chen, like, what are some of the other impacts there, and how do you forecast that impacting the silver price?
Right, the silver price. First, I want to show you this the COD data of silver. If you compare this to copper, Okay, and then you look at the gap of copper, the long versus short. Silver, it's getting there, but it's not really, right? Silver have more room to go. So and then also solar panel, the usage of silver is what we haven't seen in the past 100 years. And the solar panels cost is going down dramatically. You know, only solar panel is only energy source actually reducing. The costs are reducing every year. So in your imagination, you can see there must be a point that solar panel cost is so cheap that it's a no-brainer. Actually, they are now, mostly in outside United States and Canada, but most countries they are. It's a no-brainer to have a solar panel if you have a space, spare space to put it on. Even our town is a Republican town in New Jersey. Okay, our township already going to put solar panel on all their rooftop because they are smart people, business people. They calculate that it's cheap, much cheaper than buying electricity. Okay, and then what if they cannot use it? They give it to township resident. It's cheap. It's cheap energy source. So this coming, and then this is a recent cost. It's dropping like a rock. This is in dollar. I mean, also in euro. Similar chart. Okay, the price almost cut in half. This is a 2022. This is 2023. You see the price. This in US dollar is dropping every year. 2004 will be even cheaper, much cheaper than this. So my point is, it's become very cheap source of energy, and also it's the fastest. You think about if you want the nuclear, there were people talking on Bloomberg last week talking about nuclear power plant to power the AI. I think it's a good solution. I also own nuclear. I also uranium, but it takes a few years to approve. A few years. Solar panel doesn't. Solar panel, everybody knows it's non-inclusive, environmental impact, positive impact. So approval is very fast. If you want a very fast power source, solar panel is next after Bitcoin mining. Okay, Bitcoin mining is number one, solar panel number two. So that's my point. And there is right now, I will just tell you is I want to go back to this page. Okay, so you see that when I changed my copper point of view around March of this year because I saw this dramatic increase of Chinese buying of copper. Dramatic. So you see that it's the ninth week. That's about PDAC, right? It's just about PDAC, and then 10th I changed it around here. Chinese already buying tremendous amount of copper. I was a little bit late, but still not late because you see on the chart, it hasn't, because it take Westerner longer because they are far away from the copper user. Okay, so took them a while to realize copper is in shortage. So I recommend around here, it's not that too late. So you look at the silver. Okay, the silver, if you read, there's many excellent articles on silver. One of those recently, I mean, you can check yourself, China's silver premium. I don't have the number here, but it's about $3, okay, $2 to $3 premium over the US. And then China is buying silver just like they were buying copper early this year. Why is that? Because they have a very good data. Let me show you this data. I know we are having the wrong data, I would say. So this is the Silver Institute, the press release last month. They said the photovoltaic increased by 40%, surpassed estimate, which means their estimate was wrong again last year. I have been trying to say that they had the wrong estimate in 2022. Now they already admitted they were wrong in 2023, and then they are wrong in 2024 again. So the people in the Western world actually are looking at the wrong data. I show you this. This is a report by the Chinese Photonic Industry Association, and also a very important Western firm called InfoLink. That's a standard. Okay, that's very well-known institute. So they have all these. I don't know. You can see that. You can see though. They have each technology what's the percentage of their using, and exactly how much silver they use. Okay, so the only one parameter is its input, is what do you think about the PV demand growth of this year? Okay, they are estimated 30%, and then you see their conclusion is 56% increase of silver versus last year, which was a record. Okay, so that's tremendous. And then you look at our Silver Institute. I went there. So I had a heated argument. If you listen to the webcast, their estimate is 29%. Okay, Silver Institute, which is they use metal focus group. Another group called metal focus group. They're mostly their clients are silver users, so they have an incentive to keep silver price low. You remember that, but this is the same institute in China. It's called the China Photonic Industry Association. They are also silver user, but they actually had the decency to give us a real data. So their assumption, just put it straight. Silver Institute put it at 29% versus 30%, which is right. Okay, very close. In first quarter, it's 40%. Actual data we know. Second quarter, about 20% increase. Okay, so it's average about 30%, 29% is right. But if you have any data close to 30%, you run through the spreadsheet, go through each technology, and then how much silver is used each technology. There's no way they come out with a 20% increase. That's their prediction. Silver will increase by 20%, so it's the second highest. But actually, from Chinese data, it's 56%. It will be the highest supply and demand gap in history. So that's why they're buying. They have the right data. For all these Chinese investors, they can see this kind of report. This report actually two months old. So the new report probably already out. I have to grab those. And then they maybe more. So what will drive this higher is this. Did I see this? Oh, I'm missing that chart. So there's another one coming, a big one, which is Microsoft. Microsoft just announced. You can Google that. I didn't have that in my slide. I apologize. I tried to put a smaller slide together. I got like too many. So if you Google Microsoft just announced they're going to use solar panel for their AI. Okay, because AI is running out of power, and then they find that the easiest, fastest way is to use solar panel. And then they put in $10 billion into that. Microsoft, one company. You think about what happened with Amazon, with Google, with Tesla, with Apple. All these add together will easily add another 20% to this global silver solar panel demand. Another. Okay. And that's the key is right now, China's solar panel industry is running less than 50% of capacity. So it was the only place that you can increase capacity. You think about what if they're running at close to full capacity, there will be enormous number. This will be 100%, and then we will see more than 100%. That's just some number it's blow your mind. We could see if that's, every company follow Microsoft lead, we could see 500 million ounce of silver deficit each year. That will be enormous. So that's why everybody and people in China are buying silver right now, as we are speaking.
Well, deficit last year was 183 million, according to the Silver Institute, if you want to believe those numbers, right? Which is slightly down from the year before, but it's still a massive deficit. So, and you're forecasting 500 million ounce deficit. That's a huge number. Because I was going to ask you, Chen, like how we're going to pluck that supply cap. Like how can we achieve that?
Right. I'm not forecasting 500 million. I was looking at potential. I'm putting up a hypothesis. Right now, you need to follow the market. You need to check for yourself because Microsoft already jumped in. So Microsoft is the leader of AI, and then Google, Amazon, I think Apple and Tesla and so on and so forth, they could jump in both feet. And then only place has a spare capacity, it's the solar panel industry. And that's when that pick up, we can see 500. I'm not saying it will see 500, but I was see this year from Chinese, that's the 2 months old, they see about increase of the solar panel usage by about 70 to 80 million ounce of silver. Okay, so around that range. So you see that will be add on to last year's deficit. So that's what I'm still bullish on. And then you can see each silver mine, we invest in silver producers, and you can see how hard to get one silver mine online. Silvercrest, which is a great investment of mine, me and my subscriber, we made a lot of money in Silvercrest. You see how hard it is to get one silver mine into production. And then there's only a few million ounces, and then the whole each year looks like going to be close to 100 million each year. And then it could go much faster. I mean, as I said, when AI really come online, we really have a power shortage. This can go much higher than 100 million each year.
Yeah, massive price catalyst there, Chen. So 49.51 was the all-time high in silver. Do you see that number falling soon? Because it's taken a while to get through $30, and we're still lagging massively behind gold and copper now. Who both have reached all-time highs recently. So is that gap going to close quickly? Are we going to reach that new all-time high soon?
Yes, great question, Kai. Great question. So I'm just going back to the silver squeeze chart. You can see compared with the copper, we are only at the very beginning. Okay, copper already hit all-time high, gold hit all-time high. That's why I say we could have a silver squeeze next month. Because why is that? Because we have copper squeeze, and I also have aluminum squeeze. If you follow the other industry, that was last week. Copper squeeze was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay, this
That's
is copper
old news,
squeeze.
eh?
Right. They are squeezing the shorts one by one. So if there's another one to squeeze, I feel with this short position at all-time high, I would like to squeeze silver.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and then we've already broken through $30. It seems like $30 seems to be the new floor now, like it is at $2,100 for gold.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to show you this historical chart. You have to go back more than 10 years ago. Okay, you see
it was
how
April 2011. Yes.
Right, silver rose here. When silver broke, this is 20. And then this is 30. You look at it, 30. So go from 20 to 30, it consolidates within a couple of weeks, it go to 50. That's why I put in my title, which I'm going to present at the Metals Investment Forum. I will see potentially silver, $50 silver by June.
$50. Chen, you're giving me so many YouTube titles, but it's fantastic because it's all evidence-based. Like you're not making this number up out of thin air. You're not calling for $500 silver. Right? It's all evidence-based and based on the demand you're seeing, the demand drivers, AI. I just looked at it. I think Microsoft will invest $10.5 billion. No, sorry, 10.5 gigawatts of renewable energy, and the investment would come to about $11.5 billion.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Just one company, first project. This is the first project Microsoft, they have trillions of market cap. They can invest hundreds of billions in this. This is the first for Microsoft. I see Amazon could follow, Google. I mean, when you see that, and then there's so many spare capacity in solar panel. I mean, I'm very, very bullish on silver. This is a little bit old. We are already here. But I just wanted to show you, this chart is excellent because you can see how silver exploded in 2011. And my point is you don't want to miss this one in your lifetime opportunity. Not once, maybe twice in your lifetime. You already experienced this. And I proudly say that in my newsletter, I sold at $50 last round, and I'm going to sell it at $50 again. But I think this time we'll blow through 50. Okay, seriously. But I think 50 probably will be top, and then we consolidate a little bit.
Yeah. Chen, are you worried at all about a substitution effect at all? Can anything substitute silver or copper? Are you worried at all?
Yeah, there are a lot of substitutions. I mean, if you look at those detailed charts, you see that each year, each technology is using less silver, okay, and less degree. And for example, this one is the most dominant, they call TOPCon, and then it's 13 gram per watt, 30 milligram per gram to 12.5 to about 12, high 11s, and then go to 11. So technology will use less and less silver. And then each year you use about 10% less. I mean, 5 to 10%. I would put it about 5 to 10% less than last year for the same technology. But because of the new technology use more silver, as you can see, the TOPCon use almost double what they used to use in old technology, which is PERC. You see, the PERC used to be dominant last year, now become really, really meaningful, will become almost zero in a few years, where the TOPCon is going from 20% to 70%, and then they use a lot more silver than old technology, right? Almost double. So that's why the silver usage is going to explode. And then that's why Silver Institute was wrong. I asked them the same question on that presentation. If you listen to the webcast, I said, how can you come up with the 20%? Okay, if you have 29% growth, and then you talk about TOPCon on your presentation, and then they just mumble this, oh, every year they use less silver. Yes, less silver for the same technology, where technology is advanced, so we're using more silver. So actually, I have a meeting right after the presentation with the Silver Institute chairman, Phil Baker. He used to be, until last week, was the Heckler CEO. I like him. Heckler, one of my best performer. So I asked him, can you ask your analysts, does he know 1 + 1 = 2? Seriously, that was my question, because this does not make sense, their number. The problem is that because all these American people, Western people were misled by this number. And then if you look at the real number, you will be very bullish on silver.
No, it makes a lot of sense, Chen, and appreciate you shedding light on that, because that's why I love chatting with you, because you bring a very different perspective and very different insights to the table than all the other mainstream or analysts in particular use very different data sets. And I think it's just a conservative estimate. It's more of a CYA kind of estimate, just in case, like, hey, we underestimated. We came in over, it came in higher, and we're fine with that. It's better than overestimating and coming in lower, I guess, right? But
right. And all these are fact-based. I'm not just fantasy coming out of a number like, like
exactly.
Yeah. So
that's exactly what I mean.
A number. I still have an open challenge to Silver Institute. Give us a breakdown of their calculation and show me where the 20% come from, and then they still couldn't answer. Okay, so I'm a fact-based. I'm not. I mean, also for CPM Group, if they are watching, CPM Group even don't have this number yet.
I should have had that data, because I interviewed Chef Christian last week in New York, and I should have had that data. I'm curious.
Right, they don't have this number. They just have an estimate, guesstimate, because they are pretty far behind. I had a dinner with Jeff last week, so he's a fine gentleman. I'm just saying, a lot of people are very behind on this. And then why people in China are buying, because they have the real data. They see this data. Okay, this data already 2 months old. They probably have a new update. I have to search for that. So, but they see those. How can you not bullish on silver?
100%. Chen, like, how do you explain the price difference between Asian markets and the Western markets? Like, there's usually $3 to $6 price difference per ounce of silver. How do you explain that?
Well, silver, there is value added tax in China, but if you add value, but the import, it doesn't have. So in general, there is the demand, the physical demand of silver is very, very strong. If you go to the silver shop, people are already telling me they're selling out silver, out of silver everywhere in China. So they're paying very high premium, which means a lot of silver are going to China right now as we're speaking. So that's what I saw. It's like, I feel like very similar to the beginning of this copper thing. That really convinced me to buy copper, because I see the dramatic increase of the silver stock. I mean, I saw copper stock at that time, early this year. So I think same thing will happen to silver, because they are more close to the end user. They have more accurate report. So that I think they're right. The silver is going much higher.
Fantastic. Chen, fantastic closing words. Really appreciate it. Where can we find more of your work, Chen? That was a phenomenal conversation. I really appreciate your insights here. Where can we follow your work?
Oh, chenpix.com, and then I run my family business. As I said, I was just, before coming on the show, I just bought silver and copper. Boom, it just exploded. I look at the chart, unbelievable. I'm very happy. So I run my family money. That's my first business. I also write a newsletter on the side to share my idea to all my audience.
Phenomenal. Chen, thank you so much for making the time on a holiday here. It's Memorial Day in the US, so the day of recording. So I really, really appreciate that. And it's always great seeing you, my friend, and really appreciate you catching us up. I hope to catch you soon, maybe in Beaver Creek at the Precious Metals Conference.
Okay, great.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. And to everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. Super insightful deep dive into the copper and silver space with a very Chinese perspective. It makes a lot of sense because photovoltaics is dictating sort of the silver price and demand. So it makes sense to take a much closer look into the supply and demand dynamics of the Chinese photovoltaic producers. Chen has delivered a fantastic reason why silver should go to $50 and higher. It makes a lot of sense. The forecasts are lagging behind in the Western world. And Chen, I forgot to ask you one question. Have you seen major banks sort of correct their price forecasts for silver like we've seen in the gold space?
Yeah, I've seen quite a few. They're behind, but they're coming. They're coming, and more people coming out. I see is as an investor, you need to see what's happening a few months from now, because right now you see copper squeeze is getting into copper is a little bit late, right? So you want to get in before everybody talking about. I see Microsoft already took a lead, jump into solar. There could be a lot more, and then when Wall Street see that in a few months, silver 50 already, maybe over.
No, fantastic. Because we've seen Citibank increase their price target for gold to like $3,000, which is absolutely unheard of. So I'm curious, has any of the major banks made a $50 silver call yet?
Oh, I don't hear. You heard from me.
I haven't heard anything. That's why I was asking you.
On your podcast. If you like it, just click on the like button.
Fantastic. We'll follow up with that. But thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. If you did, please leave a like. We'll make sure to bring Chen back on. It tells us a lot about our guests. And leave a comment. What do you think is happening? How realistic are the assumptions mentioned below? Let's have a constructive discussion in the comments. We're really looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with lots more here on Soar Financially.